Is that your description in one word?
Meh.
No, I was just going to say that one. That's my description.
Meh. Just meh.
So yeah, we've just got back in a different location with Tasha's mum and dad's. We're going back to Leeds tomorrow. Come back from absolutely enthralling 0-0 draw against Brighton.
What do you mean that was the most exciting game I've ever seen?
Correct, I thought as well, yeah. But there's something not right. It's just there's something completely amiss at the minute. Before getting the negatives, which I think there's going to be more negatives than positives tonight, but the positives are I thought Forshall were fantastic again.
Yeah.
Cooper didn't put a foot wrong, and Melia.
Yeah.
All did everything they could to try and, obviously not lose the game. Because I think that's, at the minute, how I'm looking at that team, they're not trying to win games. They're more bothered about not, losing a game.
Well, the fans are like it, and I think they'll be like it. But the fans, before we've even kicked off, I'll take a point this game. And we've never had that mentality under Bielsa. We've always, gone out and shocked people and just played exciting football. And this year, I don't know what the hell's gone on, but that is nothing exciting about how we've been playing all season. And when are we allowed to now say we're struggling and looking at relegation, because you still got these fans that you can't dare say anything? When are you going to
take the blinkers off? Come on.
Yeah.
Just take the blinkers off now. We all love the club. I got up at 8:30 this morning to travel down to Brighton. Will I do it again? Of course I'll do it again. I'll do it until I'm in that wooden box and I'm either 6 feet underground or I'm thrown in fire. Whatever she decides to do with it. But I'll still do it, and I'll do it until the day I die.
Yeah.
But it's, I can see it. I can see it. There's something missing.
Behind the scenes. They're just not clicking. And I've said this time and time again this season. You're probably sick of hearing me saying it, but the passing is awful. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of times I've gone, what the fuck was that? How many times I've said that this season. The passing is just absolutely woeful. They're just they're not connecting, they're not talking to each other.
I mean, I can give two instances tonight, and it was actually Shackleton twice, and a Sunday League player. If he'd have done these passes, it literally a simple ball down the wing, set either Addison or Rafinha off, or whoever it wanted aside, I can't remember, and it was straight to the fullback. Twice he did it, and I'm like, a Sunday League player would have made a better effort.
If it was anyone else, I think Brighton was just as bad at us at losing the ball and not being able to score and things like that. If that was anyone else, like Chelsea or whatever, we would have been absolutely hammered tonight, because we're just all over the place. We cannot. Where is our quick attack? Where has that gone? I would rather last season where we'd get absolutely hammered 5-0, but then we'll go and hammer someone else 5-0. The passion was there. It was exciting. It was shocking. And every game just feels so deflated and just so boring and exhausted and frustrating. And it's just like I said, meh. It's just meh.
If Brighton had had a decent striker, they'd have probably won 3-0 tonight with the chances. I mean, the one, I think 𝐾𝐃 went back from about 5 yards out. It was easier to score than what he missed. I mean, I watching that game, I just kept thinking, we've got City and Chelsea coming up in December. We've got scary December.
Yeah.
And I think City would have hit us for about 7 tonight.
Yeah.
Chelsea would have probably hit us for 6. Liverpool would hit us for 6.
The thing,
it's frightening.
The thing that I'm sick of hearing at the minute is, but we've got a lot of injuries. It doesn't matter. The team we had today should have had the quality to beat Brighton. Half of them are internationals. Why are we struggling so much? And Bamford ain't going to be a saving grace. He's not going to come in and just absolutely wow and be scoring left, right, centre.
I think there's
I think people seem to forget that, you know, Bamford and Ayling and everyone were in at the start of the season when we was doing shocking. But it was just because it was the start of the season, everyone let it slide. But it's collectively, as a team, something in that dressing room is going on, because we know they all have the ability to do well. They did last season, and they did 3 seasons in a row. They've been brilliant. But all of a sudden now, they just can't seem to click. That I don't know what's going on in the head. Even the golden boy Phillips, I think it's all got to his head of the England game. I just don't think he seems right. He seems elsewhere. The only player to me that's constantly good and, you know, is Rafinha.
He won tonight, but yeah, we put so much pressure. We're just relying on him. To win every game
all the time. And, you know, he's the only one that really has so much creativity.
Can I just add on to that? Your comment about Phillips there, because I can see exactly where you're coming from. There's something about Calvin at the minute.
Seems really different this season.
The kid deserves every accolade that he's getting. He's probably one of the first names on team sheet for England. He deserves that. But I myself personally now think that his ego is getting very, very big. Yeah. And he was never that kid. Yeah. He was never that kid. What he so down to earth. I can see it, and I mean, again, listen, this is opinions. If you agree with what we're saying, if you don't, it's just our opinion. I mean, you think the same as me, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And also another point, which I'm going to bring up here, and this may be a very, very controversial point. It might be one that I'll get hammered for. But do you think that Bielsa now, is it looking like that he's losing the plot a little bit, isn't he?
I think he's just losing the attention. Like, you know, they was always so wowed by him. The players in the interviews and that would always be ranting and raving about his philosophy and everything like that. But to me, he's not playing how he wants them to play. Like, it seems to me like Bielsa sometimes just goes more defensive and everything. He's trying loads of new things that, you know, just not working.
The thing, and I'll say this, and I'm not going to ever back down on this. I blame that defeat at Tottenham on Bielsa last week. I do. He tinkered with something that did not need changing. That first half was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips had Harry Kane in his back pocket.
Harry Kane didn't even touch the ball. Phillips had him, and then for what reason?
Yeah,
you know, he brought Firpo on. And again, you know, this isn't a player bashing exercise what we're doing here, but Firpo really needs to either book his ideas up or just get on a plane back to Barcelona. I'm sorry, but he's awful. Yeah. He's absolutely awful. He was awful again tonight. He's just like a rabbit in the headlights.
Yeah.
His first touch is a tackle, and I don't know.
And it's just like that constant battle, isn't it? Like, oh, we're going to be investing in January. I know that we need to, but I don't think we will. I think, one, we're not going to pay over the odds, because that's what always happens in January. And two,
you can't get a quality player for a start.
Yeah, and three, to B. Also, I'm losing my train of thought now, but he, you know, Radazani came back and said, what about, you know, Forshaw and that? He'll be like, oh, we've got injuries, so, you know, when Bamford and that are all back and everything, we don't need anyone else. And I think that's what they'll kind of go for. But also, if we did invest in January, I'd rather get a nobody again. They're the ones that seem to do absolutely brilliant, like, you know, Rafinha and Meslier. Like, they didn't cost anything really, and yet they're the ones outperforming everyone. And then you've got James and you got Rodrigo coming in, not living up to that price tag, yeah. And that's what makes fans even more angry, because you go, well, he's not worth blah blah blah. Because if we had got Dan James a lot cheaper, then we'd probably might even be thinking that he's a really good player this season. But the fact that he's got that on him, and, you know, up until Tottenham, he hadn't scored and things like that, but I don't think he's as bad as everyone's making out. I just think it's because of that price tag. And I just don't think we need to be spending big. I just think we need someone like you know, like what Bielsa's done in the past, where he's really analysed and gone for someone that everyone's like, who? And like, just shocks us.
Well,
we need another Pablo, don't we?
Oh God, so what would give for another Pablo, eh?
Yeah.
But Palace Tuesday, another big one.
The good old saying, we go again.
We go again. Probably bored saying that, because I'll tell you something, we go again and then we go into December, which is scary December, isn't it? City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Yeah. But we really need to buck up our ideas, or we're looking at relegation. It
is, and you can be.
And I hate this. We're too good to go down. No, we're not. We're not. No one's too good to go down. Like, and for me, I think the Premier League is a lot harder this season as well. I think teams that you guarantee being crap have like started winning around us as well, and that doesn't help. And I just think it's been a lot harder this season.
That's the thing, isn't it? Though, you know, we're just praying and hoping at the minute there's 3 teams worse than us. Because that's how I'm looking at it. Because you can be the most optimistic, you can be the most biased, blind to whatever's going on, you know, things. But at this minute in time, that squad is in a relegation battle. It's not good enough to stay up, that squad at the minute. It's not. As I said, you just hope there's 3 teams that are worse than us.
Yeah.
And because it's not looking good. It's not. And we'll just see how, obviously Tuesday, if we don't get 3 points Tuesday, pressure gets even more. Brentford Saturday. And then into mad December. Scary December, isn't it?
Yeah. But just want to shout out, do a tribute to Gary Speed, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. God rest his soul.
Yeah. Great player. And, you know, that it was really nice. I don't know if it was Leeds United who did it, but they did tops. Gary Speed tops, and then on the back saying it's okay to talk. So just want to reiterate that if you're struggling, anything, make sure there's someone that you can talk to. And it's, you know, a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? And you might think there's no way out and like everything's all on top of you and that, but there's always someone that can just help you and make everything seem like sometimes everything's so much more worse in your own head when you sat there thinking about it time and time again. So just have someone to talk to that can give you a different perspective and bring that little bit of light into your life. So remember, it's okay to talk. And come on, Leeds.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. And Fancam will be up soon. And remember to like,
I won't be watching it. There's no to watching it.
Don't say that.
I won't watch it, mate. Seriously, fans are shit, game was shit. Don't bother watching it. Honestly, don't watch it.
I thought the fans were a lot better than it was at Tottenham.
Don't watch it.